Welcome to the RHEB3L Podcast this week. I am so excited. This week, we're going to talk about a subject near and dear to my heart, and that's about being an entrepreneur, having your own business. There's so many people that come up to me and ask me for advice on how do I chase my dream? How do I make my dream happen? Well, today I have somebody who's going to talk about all this beautiful spread you see here, who has chased his own dream, is making it happen, but it's a delicious dream. It's a healthy dream. And I thought it would be so inspiring to share it today on the RHEB3L Podcast. And this is your host, Debra Danielsen. Mootz Pizza, delicious food. We're going to talk about it today on the RHEB3L Podcast. Welcome, Collin.
Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to have you here today. I first found out about Mootz Pizza when I was over at Satellite Salon 8. I was just sitting there and they were working on my hair and I said, I'm starving. I didn't have time to eat today. And I had gotten so busy, I forgot to eat. That was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so the stylist said, don't worry. There is this great pizza place really close by. I go like really close, like immediate. And they go, yeah, just on the other side here. So what had me was they said you had cannolis.
We do.
And I'm like, oh my God. And there they are right there. Cannolis are like my favorite. But being in the Midwest, not a lot of people make cannolis, let alone have them available at like a fast food kind of restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So that's what got me in the door was the cannoli. But then when I walked in, I saw all this fresh basil, all of this fresh, everything looked fresh. And then you had this magnificent pizza oven. There's nothing like a fresh pizza cooked and turned and twirled to perfection in a magnificent pizza oven, just like in Napoli. So I just got to learn more about how did you get this dream to happen? And what was your inspiration?
Yeah, I guess where it all started is I lost my job during COVID, and I had a link in my Instagram bio where you could order pizza and get it delivered to you. Mm-hmm. And I hired a couple delivery boys to deliver pizza around the city. And yeah, from there it kind of took off, and we slowly built up to like a food truck. And from the food truck, we ran that for about 3 years, doing weddings, caterings, and then after that, we got the brick and mortar going. So,
well, you make it sound so simple, but here's the thing: a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID, and I was one of them. I lost my job during COVID too, and I think still there are many people who don't have jobs, and they're like looking to do something that is like a passion or an interest of theirs.
yeah.
I've had people come to me about making jewelry, cooking. A lot of people like to cook, but you put a little bit more behind your cooking. And you were explaining to me, because this pizza, I know everybody thinks pizza's like, oh, well, everybody can get pizza anywhere, but that's not true. I'm here to tell you I have food allergies. And I have to be very, very careful what I eat, because if I eat the wrong thing, I'll go into these attacks and I can't move even. And so when I ate this pizza, I was like praying to God I'd be okay. Not only am I okay, I feel incredible after I eat it. So explain to me about the dough and how your dough is different than I might get anywhere else.
Yeah. So the pizza is like light and easy digestible. It's we do a fermentation on it overnight, so the bacteria in the yeast actually breaks down the sugars, which your stomach would usually break down when you eat the pizza. So usually the longer the fermentation, the more sugars that are broken down. But yeah, that's what makes the pizza so good is we make the dough fresh daily, and yeah, I guess I kind of messed it up, but like the yeast breaks down the sugars for you, so your stomach doesn't have to.
So that I think is a really important thing. Plus, I have a gluten allergy. I know you offer gluten-free.
Yeah.
I've been eating the pizza that's not gluten-free, and I'm having no trouble. And not only that, I love that you put very fresh ingredients on it. I mean, you're picking them right, the basil and stuff right off the plant.
Yeah, we get the basil from a farm in Staten, Iowa, and they show up like twice a week because we go through so much basil. And yeah, it's awesome just having it fresh off the plant. We've tried like getting pre-picked and like using other like sources of basil, and it always just kind of wilts and dies out. And we figured out that like fresh off the plant is just the best way to go.
And it doesn't have the flavor that your pizza has.
Yeah, a lot of people like mention the looks, but the flavor is like the biggest impact.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I used to live and work in the south of France. And let me tell you, I've had pizza. I've had pizza there and I've had pizza here. They're different, but this is the closest thing that I've had.
Well, thank you.
It's amazing. And there's no grease. There's not a lot of grease in, like on, if we would pull up the cardboard right now and we'd hold it up, we wouldn't see a lot of grease. And I think that's another key thing. In France, the dough was almost like a cracker versus this heavy deep dish
Greasy,
pizza, greasy. And oh my God, I think a lot of what Americans do is put so much cheese on it that they're trying to cover up for lack of the fresh herbs and the fresh spices where you get that full flavor.
And I always thought like less is kind of more. And when it's more simple, there's less things to hide behind, you know, and the fewer things that you have stand out more. So yeah, I always like just letting like the true ingredients shine through.
So tell me something. How old are you?
I'm 29.
So you're 29 and you're understanding about yeast and dough and flavor mix. How did you come about that?
I guess growing up, my family was like heavily involved with cooking. Both my brothers cook, and like my parents cook as well. So they had a good impact on that. My brother, he's traveled all around the world working in Michelin restaurants, and he actually helped me jumpstart the pop-up in the beginning.
How exciting!
Yeah, so
that's wonderful.
Shout out to him because he helped a lot. So.
And I've taken food classes with Wolfgang Puck and 2 or 3 other really world-renowned chefs, and they said something that you just said that's really super critical. Less is more.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was really amazed when I took that first cooking class with them, because when you watch a lot of these shows, it's like they're throwing in 15 different spices. And the very first thing they said was, we're going to limit this to no more than 4. And that's what we stuck with in anything we ever made, right? And then I was able to taste the difference. Because exactly what you said, the flavors that matter are the things that come out.
Yeah.
And man, what a difference it makes.
Totally. That's like, and I guess I kind of believe in like both philosophies too, because like some people are like, the crust is so good, we shouldn't like dip it in ranch and like mask the flavor of the fermentation.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, why not both? Like, why not have really good fermentation and also dip it in ranch, you know?
Yeah, that way you got a choice when you're eating it.
Yeah.
But the crust is incredible.
Yeah.
And you can taste the difference. It's almost like the difference between going to the store and getting just the cheapest plain white bread, right?
Yeah.
Versus having a really fine loaf of bread that's been kneaded and worked for a couple of days and baked fresh and right out of the oven.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
I think like with the dough too, it's kind of like going back to those old ways of bread making, because bread is like so overproduced now that there's a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff in the bread. With this recipe, it's just flour, water, salt, yeast. So.
It is light. And here's the other thing that I noticed, that after I ate your pizza and had my cannoli, of course, I never felt sluggish.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they'll eat, you know, I've watched them at work, right? They'll go out to eat. They'll bring back a pizza. They'll wolf it down. And then 20, 30 minutes later,
You're
I'm
for a nap.
exhausted.
Yeah.
I want to lay down. And their eyes are going shut. It energizes you instead of knocking you out.
Yeah.
What other thing do you do that you think makes this so special?
But I feel like my focus is to execute the dough best I can, and then source the highest ingredients that I can, and just combining all those together.
And it shows. It
yeah.
does. And you know what? I gotta say, there's something different about the cheese too.
Yeah, we use fresh mozzarella. It's not pre-shredded. Like a lot of pizza places do the like pre-shred where there's like preservatives and powders like on the cheese. But yeah, we just use like real mozzarella.
And I'm gonna tell you, that makes all the difference in the world. Everything adds up to a perfect pizza and perfect flavor. And I'm just just smelling this is like incredible. So let's step through the types of pizza that you have here. These are examples, but do you offer what, 10 different kinds of pizzas roughly?
We've got quite a few different classic, just kind of like your classic pizzas. We got the Supreme, like veggie, we got meat lovers, chicken pesto, pepperoni and margarita are our top sellers. And yeah, I kind of just like the classic kind of pizza vibe. I also really like the American influence on pizza.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, especially with like the oven that I have, think that it's going to be like Italian forward, but I actually really like the American version, because I actually really like New York style pizza and how it's not floppy,
right,
kind of crispy, and you can fold it. And I also like the New York toppings, kind of like, pepperoni, because you won't find like pepperoni in Italy.
No,
typically. So
you do not.
Yeah, I kind of like combining those worlds together of like, we got ranch, because like, in the Midwest, people love their dressings.
And why not? If you can add it and make it so that it's an enhancement, why not?
And part of it too is like, I actually like it too. So.
Yeah, good.
So yeah.
Now let's talk about the cannolis.
Yeah, the cannolis are obviously like a classic pizza dessert, I feel like. Same with the cookies. I wanted something like easy that wasn't gonna take time away from the pizza, because our main focus is pizza. And I thought it was just a nice addition to have cannolis and just something sweet on the menu. Well,
here's the thing. When I mention the word cannolis at any restaurant, people like almost go into a coma, like, oh, those are really hard to make. And nobody knows how to do that here. You got to go to a bakery, right? But when I say the word cannoli at your place, people are like, yeah. And they're excited. And they go in the back and they bring these out. And what I like about them is I can hold on to it. I can eat it. It's not like all over the car. And, because I'm driving and eating like most people. But anyway, what is the secret to those cannolis that makes it so delicious and it doesn't look complicated?
It's really not. It's only a couple ingredients. Like you have the shell there, or a couple components, I guess. And my favorite part about it is probably the shell, or we have a ricotta whipped filling in there. So
yeah, it's got amazing.
Like chocolate chips, and we roll it around in crushed up Oreos too.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure for me.
It is a guilty pleasure. I love it. And I got to tell you, no matter how many pizzas I buy, I always have to get cannoli too.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of room left for a cannoli.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And now the cookies are delicious too.
Yeah.
Everything tastes homemade. Everything tastes fresh.
Yeah.
So do you also make the cookies there?
So we bake the cookies fresh daily. We kind of swap out the cookies. So like right now we have a M&M cookie that we're doing. And like last week we had like a Heath bar cookie.
Oh my, I bet that was popular.
Yeah, it actually went pretty fast. So, but yeah, we bake the cookies fresh, and I think it's like a great addition to the pizza as well.
That's amazing. Well, I got to tell you, you get an A++ in my book.
Thank you.
You're amazing. And when I think about how much courage it took, so here we are, we're in the COVID space. People aren't going out to eat, but you decided to take your pizza to them. How did you build your capacity so that you could even keep up with orders?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I had just like a spreadsheet of names, and I had a website where people could go and order the pizza, and they would have to order it in advance, and I'd have like time slots for them.
Oh.
And it was quite a bit of work, but we managed to put it all together. I had a little kitchen. We were actually doing like chicken wings, salad. My mom makes these like little dinner rolls that we were doing. So you get like pizza, and we would give you preheat instructions. So we'd take it to you, and then you'd reheat the pizzas. And it was a good way to start. And originally, to get the demand for the pizza, I gave out 100 free pizzas, and all I asked is that they would post them on Instagram and tag me. And it actually created a demand for the product because people were seeing it and going like, where can I get this pizza? So that's what really like kind of jump started it a bit and started us to get the orders in. So
I think that is a marvelous idea. And for anybody listening to the podcast, social media is a powerful tool. The podcast is a powerful tool. All of these things are powerful. And when you use these and work it together, that's another key ingredient for business success.
Yeah, it actually surprised me too, because for a while, like 100% of our business was from Instagram. So
oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, it is a wild tool. I think there's a lot of people out there with like good creativity and drive, but they just need to be known about and marketed a little better.
And they don't know how to get from over here, the unknown space, to over here, let's try this out space, right? They don't know how to get their name out there, or they're intimidated by technology and they're afraid to use it. So we got to get over that, right?
I got to make a few more TikTok videos or something.
Yep. And TikTok's an excellent tool.
Yeah.
It really is. Now tell us about the name of your business.
Yeah, so the name's Mootz. I got the name when I was a little kid. My brothers would call me Mootz, and we worked in a kitchen with another Collin. My real name's Collin, but I worked in the kitchen with another Collin, and everyone would call me Mootz instead of Collin. So,
well, it's a name that's really unique.
Yeah.
And when I asked, I was at the salon, I said to the hairdresser, I said, Mootz, what does that mean? I said, is that German or something? She goes, I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Well, I know like on the East Coast, they'll refer to like mozzarella as Mootz or mozzarella. So it actually all kind of played out in the end.
So are you a cheesy character?
A little bit, a little bit.
I love that. I love the camaraderie of working with family, and the inspiration that you get from that is priceless.
Yeah, I will say the family is, I know they say like don't mix like family and business,
right?
But they've been the best support, and I couldn't imagine doing it without them.
Right.
They've been by my side. Like my mom does dishes, preps like a lot of my toppings and like dough and stuff. Dad's helping out like with the whole background behind the scenes stuff that no one sees. Yeah, there's a lot of work. Like even my aunt comes in and does dishes for me, and
that's incredible.
Yeah. So they're really the best. I've got a brother that he makes dough and throws pizzas for me too. So
wow, I'm impressed. And all your employees that I've met, they're energetic. They're like 100% in it.
Yeah.
They're not sitting there going, oh my God, what time do I get off? And
Yeah, it's a fun time. Everyone's enjoying themselves. There's pizza. I think they like that too. They all get a free pizza every night. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the other thing that I was impressed about, my husband likes to brew beer and wine.
Oh, okay.
And he's won awards more than we got places to put them. But he's always talking about yeast and beer and going to he's a beer judge and whatnot. When I went into your place, I noticed that you also offer some good beer.
Yeah.
And so I've tried the beer with the pizza, and it even goes with the cannoli. I mean, everything's good there. Everything seems to go well together.
Yeah. I know, like, I don't drink much personally, but I wanted to have Peroni on the menu for sure.
I love it.
It's just like classic Italian beer with pizza.
Yes.
And then other than that, I just wanted to do like mostly local beers.
Yep.
And just kind of support any local brewery.
That's amazing. I love it. And I got to tell you, from the minute I walk in the door, I just feel like I'm in a different place. And I feel like everything there is like an exploration. It's like, oh my God, I got to try this. I got to try that. Even the salad. The salad is just not a typical salad I'm going to pull out of the fridge. It's been pre-made and it tastes old, you know? Everything's fresh.
Yeah.
And that is a big differentiator too.
And, you know, I kind of liked I feel like a lot of pizza places, there's kind of like the gas station pizza, and then there's like the fine dining with like wine glasses, and there's no like in between.
Right.
And I wanted to be, I guess, substantially better in every regard.
You are.
Where the ingredients are better, the price is better.
And the experience is easy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to dress up.
Yeah.
I feel like even though I've been painting in the house all day, I can come over and I can have a really great meal and I don't have to look perfect.
And that was a big part of it, is like we have Westside High School next door.
Yeah.
So we want to have kids come over and get like a slice of pizza and a soda, but also have, you know, someone with their family or something come in and kind of get everyone in, you know.
And here's the impressive part of the whole process. From the time I walk in to the time I order and sit down and am able to eat, it's less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can get a pizza that's fresh ingredients, doesn't make me sick, it's not greasy, and I can get it and I can have a great beer with it. And just relax.
It usually works out if you get the salad, they're ready to go. So by the time you're done with your salad, the pizza's pretty much ready for you.
It's amazing. You guys have your act together 100%.
Thank you.
The other thing that you do that I really love the genius behind it, but it's, and all of these things that Collin is doing are they seem so simple. It's like, oh, like you're falling off a log. But it's so important and imperative to success. So you're right next door to an event center.
House of Bar.
And what does the event center need? They need catering, they need food,
and
right?
They helped out a lot when I started as a food truck. They would actually book us for events all the time. And it was actually funny when we moved in, because it was like, hey, we're right next to you.
A lot easier.
So, yeah.
A lot less travel.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of businesses in Omaha that I'm aware of that have no way to have food, and they could use a food truck. And I know the employees are begging for a food truck. But I highly, highly recommend this to people. I think not only could you make a party, like, I don't care if it's a birthday party, a corporate event, I think your food is so excellent that whether you're 5 or 85, it's gonna work out fine. And it's wonderful. Now tell me something real quick. What is on the pepperoni meat pizza over there? What is that on the side you've got?
Oh, so this is the meat lovers pizza with sausage, hamburger, and pepperoni.
Yes.
And then we have the Mike's Hot Honey here. A lot of people like to put the honey on the crust, or kind of just drizzle it over the top. It's real big in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's this guy, Mike, that he started making like small batches of honey in a pizza shop, Polly G's.
Wow.
And he eventually kind of branched out and started selling the honey. And it's real big in like pizzerias on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it's actually slowly making its way across. Like,
so this is a new trend that we got going right here.
It is kind of a new trend.
Hot at Mootz.
Yeah. You can get Mike's Hot at like Walmart now.
Yeah.
But it's it's good stuff.
I'll have to try that. I have not tried that yet.
It's good. It's like chili infused honey. It's kind of mild, but it kind of lingers on your tongue a bit.
That is really cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, you could also dip it in bread, right?
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah.
Wow. I love it. Now, this pizza here, let's talk a little bit about how you do this chicken. We call it a chicken cacciatore.
The chicken pesto.
Chicken pesto. Yep. Tell us what you put on that.
So this is the chicken pesto. It's kind of like my nod to Zio's. I worked at Zio's for a little bit, and I just remember the commercial back in the day where he was like, "Try the chicken pesto."
Oh yeah.
So that always kind of stuck with me, and I kind of just wanted to do my version of it. So yeah, it's pesto, Romano cheese, Grana cheese, mozzarella cheese, chicken, tomatoes, onions, and yeah, that's it.
And it smells incredible.
Yeah, that one I can still smell it.
It's just like amazing. And then let's talk a little bit about this, because you have some sauce on the side for that one as well.
Yeah, there we've got the a full order of cheese sticks. It's kind of just like a whole pizza that we cut into sticks, and you got a side sauce there to dip it in. Kids love that one because it's just cheese, and they like to just rip them apart, and yeah, it's a good one.
And what is the sauce? It's a red.
It's just tomato. So we
just plain tomato.
So with our tomato sauce, we just use whole peeled tomatoes.
Yeah.
We don't add anything to it. It's just whole crushed tomatoes.
So another healthy alternative for kids too.
Yeah, and what you'll find with a lot of pizzerias now, they'll skip the part of adding like the expensive cheeses, and they'll add like stuff to their sauce to make the pizza taste a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's why like you'll get like some of the heartburn or something like that. But we use like the real cheese and just whole peeled tomatoes, so there's no like extra seasoning or anything added to make it taste a certain way.
And it's more what I think I like best about all of this, it's more of a whole foods approach.
Yeah, totally.
Versus chemicals.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
This
has been so lovely, and I know we're all going to enjoy this, and I really appreciate your generosity with your time and all of your talent. It's incredible. And thank you for being an inspiration for all of the people out there who have kind of been depressed maybe about losing their jobs. But I think you show them that if you have the right attitude and you get the right focus, and yes, even if you're working with your family, right? Or friends, I mean, you can get people together and you can do more together than you can separately.
And I would say just don't give up, you know? 'Cause
right.
A lot of the times it seems like everything's pushing against you. But I'd say just don't give up, and take it day by day, because it was a slow start. Like I started in a garage, started a food truck. It wasn't until 4 years that I had the restaurant and all the stuff that I needed. So
but the 4 years have been worth it.
Yes, totally.
And every day you put one foot in front of the other, and every day you made progress.
And that's what it's all about, is just kind of the journey and progressing every day.
Yeah, and then celebrate along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Take some time off.
Thank you. Well done. I appreciate it. After a busy day, there's no better thing to do than rest and relax at Mootz Pizza with a great pizza and a good beer. Enjoy.
Welcome to Mootz.
Well, hi, how are you today?
Hello there. How are you?
I thought I would show our audience some of these fresh herbs.
Yeah.
And this great pizza oven. And I wanted to see if you could make David and I some good pizzas.
Yeah.
Probably. There's so much to choose from on this menu, I thought I'd share it with you. Thank you for watching the Rebel Podcast on KPAO Cox Station 22. Like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.